Just weeks after the Paramount Skydance merger was given the green light, the newly formed media giant reportedly has its eyes set on another studio, Warner Brothers.
The Wall Street Journal reports that Paramount Skydance is preparing a majority cash bid for Warner Brothers Discovery. The Journal reports the bid would be for the entire company, including its cable networks, the most prominent of which is CNN, and its movie studio. However, an official bid has not been submitted as of Friday morning. This all comes as Warner is preparing to split itself into two divisions early next year, one for cable TV and the other for streaming and studios.
But a potential merger between two of Hollywood's most storied studios could cause problems with antitrust regulators. Analysts say the potential offer is also likely to kickstart a bidding war for Warner Brothers, which could include potential bidders like Comcast, Amazon, and Netflix. Just to take that final point first, Amber, separate from all the politics, there is this element in all of this where Warner Brothers has obviously this enormous library of material, and whether it's Netflix or Amazon or Apple, a lot of people are interested in that, and so that's perceived to be one of the reasons that they're splitting this stuff off, is because of the potential lucrativeness from it. I am obviously not very thrilled about the idea of Paramount Skydance taking over CNN, having already got its hooks into CBS into what I consider rather dubious circumstances, but I imagine you're much less concerned about the matter.
Well, I think you'll be surprised regarding the CBS rumblings about Barry Weiss taking over. Not a huge fan of the Free Press or Barry Weiss, actually.
Oh, well, there we have an unexpected sliver of common ground there.
I know. Well, they are very hyper-focused on defending Israel, which to me is... I mean, I'm an America First conservative, so it's like weird to me. I understand why Barry Weiss is that way. I mean, part of the reason why she left the New York Times was she felt that people were attacking her in anti-Semitic ways and sort of disliked her because of her Jewish heritage. But just reading the Free Press, there's this trend of the sort of disaffected liberals starting these independent media outlets, and they don't seem to be really any different from just your standard like corporate liberal media. And so when people are talking about how Barry Weiss is going to start this like radical transformation of CBS in their newsroom, I'm like, but how?
Well, you see, I agreed with like 90%, and then at the end I was like,
I know, I lost you.
I mean, look, I think that there's a kind of long tradition, not really dissimilar from the one you described, but of people who had been perceived as liberal kind of moving generally to the right. And then
I think that's the perception, but I'm not sure in practice that's actually what happens.
Well, I think that in her, I mean...
at least not in her case.
Yeah, I mean, in her case, it is complicated because it is so focused on Israel and got a lot of criticism, in my opinion, justly, for trying, I think, to minimize like horrific scenes of starvation and all of that very recently. So that is part of the equation here. I also was just looking at it last night, and it was... Neil Ferguson opining about something or other, and Ben Shapiro doing likewise. And I was like, to me, this is just like, it's kind of like the New York Post with bigger words to me. You know, it's sort of like very pro-Israel, somewhat conservative leaning, somewhat inflammatory, with a kind of veneer that we're independent-minded. I don't really see them that way at all.
Yeah, that's interesting how we have entirely different perceptions of what the Free
But we
Press
get kind of to somewhat to the same destination from very different routes.
Exactly. So I mean, the merger to me, I don't really care what happens to corporate media, to be honest with you. So for me, it's like, whatever.
Don't say that too loudly around here, Amber.
I know.
We'll all go out of business.
I know, I'll get in trouble. I mean,
you say what you want. I'm really kidding you. Yeah.
Anyway, Let's talk about the streaming aspect of this.
Yes, okay.
The nice Warner Brothers thing that's going on.
Yes.
Yeah, I do think that that's obviously very lucrative. You know, one thing I've noticed with streaming over the years is it all started as this nice alternative to cable where you could have, you know, multiple different platforms of shows, and it would be cheaper and you wouldn't have commercials. Well, now they all have ads, and now we all have, you know, 10 streaming services, and it costs more than cable at this point, and so the whole thing is just stupid.
Exactly. Now you have to bundle streaming services, which was the whole problem we were supposed to be getting away with. In any event, Benjamin Netanyahu is splitting with President Trump after this week's airstrike on Qatar. We'll talk about that next. Stick around.